gonna paint me out to be a very terrible person. I started college in Ohio.
Thinking like this isn't gonna work.
I left Virginia June 16th to Alaska.
It was a long time.
That's 4.5 months, literally in the middle of nowhere.
That night we had our first kiss. This is it, he's gonna propose. We were all ready. And then you left again the next year for like 7 months.
Have I worn this shirt before?
You wanna look?
Yes. Yes, I have.
And I did change the shirt. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to our channel. For today's video, we're going to be talking about our dating timeline, just kind of our story of how we dated and how long we dated, being long distance a little bit. If you guys are interested, then definitely keep on watching. Let's just go ahead and get started. Do you want to continue where we left off? You asked me in 2018 and then we dated for only 3 years.
It wasn't 3 years.
We really only dated.
It was the very end of 2018. It was like the last 2 weeks of 2018 when I asked you to be my girlfriend.
Yeah, I was counting 2019, 2020, and 2021.
We got engaged in 2021.
Yeah, 2 years and 9 months. It seems like it was so much longer.
No.
He had just asked me to be his girlfriend. It was like December 2018. So he already had a plan. He was going to go to college fall of 2019. So we kind of already knew that. We dated like normal December 2018, January, February. I'm trying to figure out when you went to Alaska for the first time, because you came to me pretty early on. Like, we had been dating for like 2 or 3 months and you were like, he was kind of saying like, what do you think about me going to Alaska this summer?
Did I go to Alaska 2019?
I just remember it wasn't very long into dating and we were just on a date. We went to like Mill Mountain, this little coffee shop. All his siblings were there. It was a really fun date. After all of them left, he was like, what do you think about me going back to Alaska and working for a little bit?
I didn't go to Alaska 2019.
I'm like almost positive you did.
I did. Yeah, that's Alaska, May 30th, 2019. Because I went and hiked there and I put our initials up there.
Oh, you did?
I sent you a Snapchat.
I'll put in the pictures of the trip that he's thinking about. Yes, that's exactly what it was. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
First kiss? Okay. Yeah, I remember this whole weekend now. I just thought this was the year after. I remember this whole weekend. I grew up dancing and stuff. I had just graduated in 2018, like everything. So I remember it was a big deal. I went to see all of the juniors that I had graduated with. They were obviously seniors this year. So I went with all of my friends to the dance recital to see them graduate. It was their last year, their senior year. That was May 19th of 2019. And I remember that night, I was gonna see Grant and it was like his last night before he left.
But I was there for the concert. That was the only dance concert I ever went to.
No, that was a different one.
That was a different one?
But you did go to it, yeah. I just remember thinking that whole time I was thinking about Grant. He was getting ready to leave for Alaska. I've never dated anyone, let alone long distance. That night we had our first kiss.
We did have our first kiss that night.
Yeah, it was a big deal because he left, and that was actually longer of a trip than I originally thought. It was like May 19th. I had just started another semester of college. I think that was my first semester of college because I was doing a summer semester. So it was like a big day. Grant left for Alaska the next morning. I had my first day of college. We've had our first kiss and like that's all I was thinking about in class that day.
Yeah, okay, so I left July 3rd. You picked me up July 4th.
So I actually...
That's right. Yeah, you drove my truck.
He flew into North Carolina, right?
No, it was actually Charlotte, Virginia, or Charlottesville, Virginia. It's the one that's like 2 hours north of here. Okay,
I remember I had to go to his parents' house like an hour away. I met his dad and we like exchanged vehicles because I was gonna pick him up in his truck for whatever reason. I don't know why I couldn't just take my car.
I guess I just wanted to be in my truck.
He just wanted to be in his truck.
I didn't want to drive her car back, I guess.
So I drove his truck like 2.5 hours away to pick him up at the airport. What were you doing there?
Like an hour and a half.
It was 2.5 hours.
From my parents' house, it would have been about 2.5 hours.
It was a good little trip.
I stand corrected.
And
were you uncomfortable driving it?
No, I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah. So I remember like that was a whole thing. We'd been long distance for what, like 2 months? It seemed like an eternity. He came back July 4th pretty much. And then we had a few months of dating and then he was going off to college in Ohio. Yeah, mid-August of 2019, I started college in Ohio. I was there to play baseball. I told myself I was there for an education and that baseball was secondary, but I was only there to play baseball. I chose what every sports-centered person did and I chose a sports management and a business degree. And then I got my papers officially showing what I owed for 1 semester and I said, no, I think I'm done.
Baseball was really fun. I still wish I could have played all 4 years, but I wasn't good enough for any sort of scholarship that would have paid enough to make it worth my while. So I came home.
It was like November. I just remember his mom and Grant drove down. We like dropped him off. And I remember like pulling in the school and I was like, man, this is gonna be a long journey, like 4 years. Typically, I don't know, people our age like meet in college and it's just easier. However long the trip was it?
It's 5.5 hours.
Yeah, like 6 hours. For 4 years, you know, we weren't gonna like spend the night at, like I wasn't gonna go stay the night at his dorm room, or, you know, it was just would have been very hard.
Pretty much the only time I would have been able to see her was when I could get away from school and baseball enough to actually come home.
I was working like 3 jobs in full-time school, like college. It was just insane. It would have just been really hard. And I remember thinking like, this isn't gonna work. Like he's just not, either he's gonna leave, come back home.
Yeah, I was totally naive to all of that. I just figured it'd play out like it was playing out and it would be fine. By the end of like the second or third month that I was there, I was like, this just is not worth it. I'm not getting anything out of it. I don't really even think I'm planning on using this degree. And I'm hundreds of miles from the woman I love and I can't see her.
So sweet.
So
he ended up coming home like first week in November after praying about it, and I was so excited. I remember just texting back and forth, and he was having the time of his life, but he just knew like the overall picture just, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, no, it was very fun. I'll tell you that much. I mean, my personality, I just want to be around people, want to like hang out. Yeah, sports, people my age, just hanging out, music, the whole nine. I think there was maybe 3 times in that 3-month span that I went to bed before midnight, and that's simply because there's always something going on the college campus.
He's like the most extroverted person that I've ever met.
Yeah.
My mom, maybe.
Like I would go to the gym and we'd play pickup basketball until 10 p.m. and I'd tell my friend, gotta go to bed. I got class in the morning. I got early morning lifts with the baseball team. Gotta be up at like 5:30 in the morning. On my way home from the gym, there'd be people around a campfire, like playing guitar, singing worship music and stuff. And I'd be like, oh, that looks like fun. I'd run up to my dorm room, grab my guitar, come back down, join them. My friend, on his way outside of the gym, would pass me. Like, weren't you going to bed like an hour and a half ago? I was like, well, I was, but then I saw people hanging out and having fun.
And deep down, like, I knew he was just having fun, but I had already prayed about it, and I was like, I just don't see him doing this for 4 years, and me too, because I knew we were supposed to be together, and I just didn't see that working out. So I'm like, the only other option is he's gonna come home. But I never said any of that to him. Like, I obviously wasn't gonna, I was just gonna let him figure it out and do what he needed to do. He was the one that kind of said, I think I'm supposed to leave. So that again was a little chunk of long distance.
Yeah, that was
I was just excited for us to be able to like date without leaving for months on end.
Yeah, that was 2.5 months.
And then 2020 was COVID, obviously.
Yeah,
and
I was gone a lot in 2020.
That was the longest year of long distance.
So pretty much as soon as I came home from college, I rolled back into the workforce with my dad's construction company, started working on a couple of jobs here around where we live. The opportunity arose where I was going to be able to work in Alaska again for the most of that summer, pretty much as long as I wanted to stay up there. And
it was like a little bit before summer started and then a little after summer ended.
Yeah, I went up March
3rd.
Just before lockdown. I remember being up in Alaska maybe 3 days, and then like people were saying, hey, flights are getting canceled, this and that and this and the other. I'm like, oh snap. Like, oh wow, I might actually be stuck here for a little while.
Yeah, so he left right before lockdown, like he said, so everything was normal. He got on a plane and left, and then 2 weeks later, I remember I was in college. I was in one of my college classes in a lab. I remember my professor said next week for lab we're gonna go online because there's this crazy like germ going around, like sickness, and they're afraid that the college has it or it might spread or something. He said, but the week after that we'll just be back to normal. That was the last class I ever
the week after that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, at that time I was pursuing nursing, so I was taking like A&P and biochemistry and like physics. It was just like a bunch of classes I hated, and I was working at the hospital as a CNA. So I just remember like March was crazy. Like Grant left, all of my college was online, and then just trying to work during all of that was insane. I just remember all the gear we had to put on. Like life was completely different. And then I was thinking about how is Grant gonna like get home, because obviously flights, they weren't letting people come in or out. It was really scary. I was like, what is gonna happen? Like,
so I left March 7th. I came back May 3rd. Spent her birthday with her. Spent my birthday with her. Yeah, I was home for 4 weeks, and then I left again.
Yeah,
that's crazy. 2020 was no attack.
We've never actually gone through these dates, so this is just gonna be a
this is just gonna be a hodgepodge jumbled mess.
That was a long time you were gone.
A long time.
That's longer than I remember.
I left Virginia June 16th and went straight up to Alaska to where I'm from in Fairbanks. flew from Fairbanks back down to Anchorage to a small village called Kotzebue, and then that small village called Kotzebue to an even smaller village called Noatak, literally in the middle of nowhere. I think in that process, I had to have 3 COVID tests done. I had to have a negative result to leave the state of Virginia. I had to be tested as soon as I landed in Alaska. I had to be tested as soon as I landed in Kotzebue. Once I had that negative result, I went to Noatak and was there until I left. I was in Noatak until October 22nd. Mm-hmm. So mid-June, July, August, September, almost all of October.
Well, we didn't see each other till the 25th. It was a long time.
That's 4.5 months. That was a 4.5 month stretch. Yeah. Like, that's a long time.
So that's 4, and then the March, April, May. I don't know. I feel like he was gone. It felt like most of the year.
I was, yeah.
We really didn't get to see each other a lot. So still, like, in my mind, it was hard for our relationship because we weren't really able to, like, progress anywhere because we would see each other and then he would be gone for such a long span of time and then come back for a little period and then be gone for, like, a long period of time. It was kind of like just, we get to, like, go on a few dates and, you know, we weren't seeing each other every single day because I was in school. He was working so much. Mm-hmm. But we saw each other a lot, but we weren't seeing each other every day like we did when you got back from that trip.
Yeah, once I got back from that trip, we talked it out and we're just like, this isn't really good for our relationship at this point. Yeah. You know, long distance in small spurts can grow a relationship for sure. I think it's good to stretch that, and
but
I guess
not when you that's all we knew.
But that's all we did.
Yeah.
And that was too
it's
much.
Not like we dated for a while. And plus a lot of people, like, they're friends first, they know each other and then they're dating. Like, we met each other and then started dating. I still, truthfully, it takes me so long to warm up to someone, especially like when I'm dating him or whatever. I didn't even really know him that well.
Oh yeah, no.
I didn't want to, like, get all comfortable and then he leaves for, like, so long and then comes back and, like, I have to kind of get warmed up again and then he leaves again. So truthfully, we had never, like, had a deep conversation about really a lot of things. We were just getting to know each other, like, what's your favorite color and restaurant, and, like, that's kind of how it was the whole time we were dating until the end of 2020 when you got back. It's like holidays again.
Yeah, I came back just in time for Thanksgiving, Christmas.
And then 2021, we kind of had discussed, like, let's not do another long distance trip. Let's figure out our relationship. Let's just go on dates and be together this year. I also, in the midst of all of that, decided I didn't want to do nursing, and I was only pursuing a human services degree, and I also had started my apprenticeship to get my hair license. You know, I had kind of changed everything too. COVID just ruined it for me. I truthfully, I think I ended up quitting in May of 2020. I worked through COVID for like 2 months and it was the worst thing ever. Because I was full-time at that point. Like, full-time college, full-time the hospital. It ruined it for me. Everything was just kind of falling into place though. I also got my own apartment 2021, like, I think it was February or March. So I had moved out, changed my degree. Grant was back home and he was just working all the time now for his dad here. And I was so happy because I knew you weren't leaving. Like, we were just really able to be together, like, every day. I can't think of anything that stood out besides when he proposed in September. 2021,
I know I was gone for my birthday, but I wasn't gone, like, for very long. 2021, I went and helped my dad at his friend's house. We helped
that was just like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So we were used to that. That was nothing. 1 week or 2 weeks, whatever it was like nothing. That's kind of the first year we were comfortable with each other. At least I was way more comfortable with you. That's really when it actually felt like, okay, I have a boyfriend, we see each other. I knew he was going to be able to come to, like, you know, family events, just, like, consistently. Like, you didn't end up meeting my family, my dad's family. I remember it was, like, the 3rd Christmas, and they're like, when are we going to get to meet Grant? Like, you say you have a boyfriend.
It was a while.
It was, like, three years or something. Like, I don't think they actually met him until we were engaged. It just didn't seem like I had a boyfriend for the entire time we were, like, dating because we were just long distance for so much of it. We would always go out to dinner, go fishing, go skating, go get ice cream. That's kind of what the whole year looked like until September of 2021. Then he proposed. But that'll be a whole other story, a whole other video. I feel like we've never actually sat down and, like,
mapped out the timeline. Yeah.
You were actually gone a lot more than I thought.
Yeah. It probably comes out to about 50-50. Like, if we were to do the math on the days.
I do remember, like, a lot of times throughout our dating, like, I thought he was going to propose. Like, I think it was our 1-year anniversary. I just thought you were going to, like, propose. And me and my best friend, she was like, you need to tell me, like, what rings you like. I don't know. I thought then you were going to propose. And then also when you came back from one trip, he said he wanted to get like fall pictures made, which this plays into our next, like our actual proposal. But I remember he had been gone and he kept saying like, I want to get some pictures made with you. Like we should get, you know,
The
we
first
just
time?
don't have any pictures.
These ones?
Yeah.
That was after I came home from college.
Okay. I just had in my head, I was like, why would he want to do that? Like that's when he's going to propose.
That was like 10 months
So,
into us dating.
yeah.
Like, we hadn't even dated a year at that point.
Yeah, I was ready. So
Ready.
I was like, this is it. He's going to propose. Why else would he want to get like pictures made, professional pictures? I actually had never looked at rings, but my best friend was like, you know, I'll just choose something for you because I know what you like. We were all ready. And then you left again the next year for like 7 months. It was like,
This is going to paint me out to be
so
a very
long.
terrible person.
No, we were 18, 19 years old. I was just like really
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, but
And
she was
he-
19 going on like 24. I was 19 going on 17. So
Yeah.
if that tells you anything about our maturity levels. I was nowhere close to ready to get married until we got married. She was ready to get married like 3 months after we met.
I just never like wanted to date for very long because I'm like, if you know, you know. So if you don't know and you're like 3 years into dating, then it's just like not probably gonna work out.
Just barely missed that window.
But we were very young, I will say. And also we weren't even friends before we met. So that, you know,
Yeah.
I totally
I mean, we had
really,
to know. We had to get to know everything about each other.
But I truthfully was not comfortable. I say that I would get married or whatever. I didn't open up till like 2021.
100%.
Like that's when I got comfortable.
Mhm.
So I don't know, I say a lot, but I don't know that I would have actually said yes. I just thought maybe you would and it'd be fine.
Yeah, I think that just about sums it up. That is our dating timeline, as jumbled and crazy as it is.
Yeah.
If y'all like this kind of content, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. We've had lots of comments talking about different things y'all want us to do, so we'll put those on the list and see if we can't get them done. Is that bad?
I don't know, you make it sound like a
Business.
ad.
Yeah. You want me to redo it?
No, I don't care. I think it's funny. It's funny. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
No, I can tell.
It's just like an ad.
Why are you even holding this? You haven't taken a drink out of it
Baby,
one
it's
time.
almost gone. Have you not noticed how much I've drank out
No,
of
I
it?
guess not.
Yeah, so like he said, we'll keep making our videos and the next one will be our engagement story time.
Yep.
Because that's where we left off. So
Mhm.
if you guys are interested in that video, then definitely subscribe. Like he said, turn on our post notifications so that you see when that one is uploaded. We'll see you guys in our next video. Bye guys.
Don't do that. That's mine.
I know, but what are you saluting?